UrbanBroadcastMedia.com, Chicago.
And around the world where your voice is heard. This is UBM Talk.
Hello, this is Reverend Rick McCain, and I'm here with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain, and we're the hosts of the Let's Stay Together show.
That's right, baby, where you learn the rhythms of all relationships. We are bringing Holy Ghost fun to the internet and changing the way people communicate about quiet storms within their lives. We believe that to know our glory, you have to know what, baby?
Our backstory.
So come and take a ride on the McCain train every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. Woo woo!
A Vibrant Mix is back with a new format.
Same informative and vibrant topics.
And a new co-host.
Yep, we heard you, and Cousin Fred is on permanently.
Hey, this is Fred. Join us every Friday from noon until 1. Same great conversation, same vibrant mix.
A Vibrant Mix with Tasha
and Tamiko
and Fred.
Right here on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com.
Lord, how did I get in between T and T?
Watch out, Fred. We're explosive.
Have you ever seen grandparents who are always on the move? Well, let me introduce you to Mr. Lorenzo Young, Miss Hermeline Jones, Miss Lenora Lusk, Miss Rose Henderson, Miss Doris Riley, and yours truly, Marie Johnson. Join us every Saturday morning from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on UBM Talk. Grandparents on the move, we don't rock, we roll.
The Damon Williams Show.
We went to the set of Arsenio. We were in the audience. And anytime you see a white woman with a clipboard, chances are that person's going to be on TV. They're going to put a little dab of whipped cream here and here and here. That heifer squeezed that whole damn can of whipped cream all over my face. And then after she licked it off, my little dirty old man neighbor, who never has 2 words to say, I look out, he's standing at his Sunday best. So you like whipped cream, huh?
The Damon Williams Show, Wednesdays, 2 to 4 p.m. on UBM Talk.
The following show is paid programming and does not necessarily express the views and opinions of Urban Broadcast Media and its subsidiaries.
Thank you for listening to UBM Talk.
Hey guys, it is Dr. Shanika Williams here, and you have tuned in to the Diva MD Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. I missed you guys as always. A week flies by. It goes by so fast, and I promise you it just takes so much out of me. But then when I come here, I get to relax and chill and hang with you guys and give you guys some good information. So I hope you are in for a great treat today. So I hope that you guys stay tuned in and listen to everything that's going on, because it's about to be a good one today. So guys, I would be remiss if I did not tell you right now to get your butt up and out and vote. Okay, that's what I did this morning. I took advantage of the early voting in my neighborhood, and it was such a quick, easy process. Please take the time to exercise your rights and make sure that you do your civil duty and get out there and vote. We can't complain about it if we don't, try and do something about it, right? And put the right people in office to speak for us, right? Because we are the people, and we need to make sure that we are saying what we mean and saying everything that we want to say and get it out there and vote, period. So make sure you get out there. If you are over 18, vote. I cannot say it enough. Guys, I want to bring you guys in on a guest that I have today. I'm pretty excited about this topic because I am a family practice physician, and I deal with adolescents and teens. And the thing that I notice, and in just being a member of this society, seeing kids raise kids, and that has been the toughest thing for me. And, one might say, oh, it may not be that bad, but then we kind of look at, how our kids are turning out today, and it kind of makes me wonder. So, I have somebody here that actually went through that and turned her life into something absolutely amazing, and is an inspiration to many women and many teen moms herself. I want to take this time out and introduce you guys to Alicia Bowens, who is a certified life coach. She is a motivational speaker and an acclaimed author, right?
Oh, yes, right.
Of her book called Love for Teen Moms, and that's LOVE.
Yes.
Yes, I love it. Welcome to the show, Alicia.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. You know what? Why don't you just give us a little bit of a background? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and how you got to where you are today.
Well, like you said, I was a teen mom. I became a teen mom at the age of 15. However, I did not let that stop me. I went on, continued my education, graduated from high school on time, went to college, took my son with me, and later obtained 2 master's degrees.
Boom.
So now I am
That's hashtag boom.
Yes, hashtag boom. Bam. You have to get the bam. Yes, so now I'm a double entrepreneur. I have an IT staffing company, and I also, like you said, do life coaching through workshops and through my books, and go out and speak at various venues, colleges, high schools, on just informing other teen moms on how they can continue and go on despite having a child and despite having those obstacles, and just letting them know that they're still worth their dreams.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, so you were pregnant at the age of 15.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
It was unreal. You know, when you're at that age, you think you're invincible. Nothing will kill you, nothing will hurt you. So I got pregnant, and you're like, oh, that it does work down here.
They said the uterus was
it's like you just come down to earth, and you're like, okay, I'm about to have a baby. So that whole thing, and then on top of being an honor student, a straight A student, top 10 in my class, National Honor Society, coming back sophomore year pregnant, you're like, how did that happen?
Yeah. So even with that, so when you think of a teen mom, there's a stigma that comes along with being a teen mom, right?
Yes.
That you're not paying attention in school, you fast, you out there doing your thing, not that honor student, not that National Honor Society member, not that person. So how did you take the criticism? Because I'm sure at that time there was a lot of criticism from your family, your friends, outsiders looking at you. Because you look 15 now. That's what if she was to walk in here pregnant now, I'd be like, where your mama hooting?
Just imagine my son, he's 20 now. So they're like, really? See, even he took a double take. He's like, really? Yeah, but that stigma, it was really discouraging and disheartening. You go in there, you're esteemed one day, and then the next, when you come back, they're looking down on you. They're like shaking their head. Some friends alienate themselves from you because it's almost like you don't want to catch the pregnancy disease or whatever. It's like you have a disease now. Yeah. And funny, I was speaking to a group of teen moms. I was like, that year we were reading the Scarlet Letter. So, I'm like,
you
okay,
carrying around your A.
Yeah, I got the A. I got the P on my shirt. So it's just, it was very, it was something I wasn't used to.
Sure.
I wasn't used to.
Sure. So how did you cope? How did you deal with that situation?
I just kept moving forward. I used it as a leverage to prove them wrong, prove that I could still make it and I could still succeed. I mean, I had my family; they supported me. So fortunately, I had my family to support me. They were there for me. They took care of my son while I was at school, so I didn't have any issues on that level.
Sure.
Like a lot of young mothers do. But yeah, it was just, I just felt like I had something to prove at that moment. And not only that, I didn't want to grow up and live in poverty. So I knew it was something that I had to do. It really wasn't a choice anymore.
Sure. So when did you know you overcame that, quote unquote, I overcame, I did it, it's done? Was it his 18th birthday?
No, it's still not over. So
yeah.
It never ends. Being a parent never ends. I guess when I finally felt like I succeeded was, I guess, when I finally was able to get off of public assistance.
So that was your pivotal.
That was moment. Like, okay, I'm here. But then when you get there, it's like, okay, now I'm still barely making enough to pay the bills and to get this. I'm looking like, man, I was better off with my link card or whatever. You feel you get that transition, and it's this psychological, that dependency that you have on that. But then you still realize there's still more levels you still got to achieve. But that was like the bare minimum. I felt like I made it that far, so I knew I still had farther to go.
Right.
So you made it financially, but then there were still some emotional things I still had to overcome, and with dealing with the shame and the hurt, and that stuff still was carrying on with me.
Now, was the father involved?
He was involved in his son's life. I wouldn't say financially, but he was there in his life, not as consistent as I would have liked him to be, but he was still there, and they still have a relationship today.
Okay.
So that was just the main thing that I felt was important. As long as you're in your child's life,
that makes a difference.
And it does. It makes a big difference.
And so how did you come about to start this? Well, first, tell me which one came first. Was it the book that came first? Okay, or
the book and the coaching.
They came together simultaneously. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, how that came about, I was at the place where I know I needed to get my finances together. So I actually met a lady. Her name is Lynn Richardson. I guess you all probably see her on Facebook. She works with Russell Simmons now and MC Light, and she's doing her thing now. She was the financial coach.
Okay.
So because she had a group of people she would coach on getting your finances together, and she approached it from a holistic level. So she was like, if there's something going on with your finances, there's something going on spiritually, emotionally, and she approached it on all the levels. And she wrote a book.
Okay.
So I called her one day. I was like, man, how do you write a book? She's like, girl, get a notepad and just write. I'm like, oh, okay. So then that was it. I just knew I wanted to write. I knew I wanted to give back to the teen moms, just to give them the information, because there was so much information that I had learned that I wasn't aware of, and I knew that they needed to get this information. So I just began to write down, outline my book, what I wanted to talk about, and make sure I touched on those certain points just to give them the information, as well as share my experiences, just to give them a source of encouragement.
I think that's one of the biggest things that we can do, that you can go through something, right, and be able to, whether you documented, whether you speak into a mic, whether you somehow you're able to take your experience and share it with someone else. I think that's what makes some people look at you. And there's always that saying, I don't look like what I've been through, right? So people look at you and think you got it all together. But, everybody has a past. Everybody has a history, and it's those stories that helps bring somebody else up. So, if you're currently going through something, or if you're or you've been through something, but you don't share your story with anyone, what good are you doing? How are you helping somebody else?
And I think it has a lot to do with the shame that people feel when they're going through these situations, that they're made to feel like they're less than.
Sure.
And even with the issue of teen moms, one of the things that I noticed that the schools they do a good job of trying to, now they do better jobs of trying to make sure these teens graduate, but they lower the standards. They're like, okay, we're going to dumb down your curriculum so you can get through school. But these students are still capable of going on and getting their master's degrees, going on to college, going on to act, or whatever it is that they wanted to do before they were pregnant. It's like having a baby did not make them dumb.
Right.
It's just something extra that they have to take care of. You just need to provide them with that support. Don't dumb down the curriculum. So I think that's where it starts, where you start lowering their standards, and then as they grow older, they lower their own standards.
I see.
And then that's where you get that cycle, because now they don't feel like they can achieve certain things. They don't feel like they're worth those dreams that they once had, and that's just where we need to start instilling those things back into them.
And when you sit in front of a group of teens, like what do you say? How do you encourage them? What motivational nuggets do you give them?
Well, I tell them my story, first of all, and tell them the things that I went through. Let them know that there are resources out there for them. If you go to college, there's funding for you, because now you're an independent student. So you get more money. There's housing out there. I mean, you're on a college campus, but there's still a residential area. Other people in the area, they need childcare, so there is childcare out there.
Sure.
I even mentioned when I was in school, there was a experimental Section 8 program for students. So I was able to have a roommate with my cousin, with my son, and have my housing paid for.
Sure.
So it's just a matter of asking the right questions, knowing what questions to ask, and knowing who to ask. There's so many resources out there for them that they're not aware of.
Now, do you do a lot of speaking to kids in schools, or how does your engagements work? Are there different programs out there that are specifically tailored towards teen moms?
There are some schools that have programs for teen moms, and then there are some separate organizations that cater to teen moms at various schools. So I either work through them or go directly through the schools, and I come out and speak to their youth, their young teens.
And then what about teaching parenting skills? That's a huge one for me personally, because I'm quite frankly sick of hearing these youngins, walking and cussing and fussing down the street like there's no adults around. So, is there anything in place, as far as helping them with parenting skills and how to raise your kids?
I do have like a series of workshops, and one of the modules actually covers that. And on there, I touch upon being an example for your child and raising the point that your child is watching you, even when you don't think they're watching you.
Absolutely.
When you think they're in that bed sleep, they're listening to your conversations, and you have to be very well aware of how you carry yourself, because your child is imitating you, because you're their biggest role model, whether you want to be or not. And so that's why you have to always be mindful of those things. But when you're that young, you're so hard. It's hard to see yourself as an adult, because you're still a kid trying to raise a child, but you still have to act like an adult in front of that child, and you don't know how to do that. So it's kind of a conflict there.
Sure. So how do most teenage moms balance with that? Like, how did you balance with that?
I didn't. I mean, that's where I had my family came in, and they when I was doing wrong, they told me what I was doing wrong. And it was just a matter of learning. It's just like with any parent, it's a trial and error. And you just have to learn and just be committed.
Yeah.
Just as long as you have that commitment to your child, and you grow and you intend on doing better, and you always focus on doing better, it'll get better.
Absolutely. Guys, if you're just tuning in, you're tuning into the Diva MD Show with Dr. Shanika Williams. I have Miss Alicia Bowens with me. She is a life coach. Lifetime. We just talked about Lifetime. Going home, relaxing, watching Lifetime. She is a life coach, a motivational speaker, as well as an acclaimed author. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yes, my book is titled Love for Teen Moms. Love is an acronym. It stands for Lives of Vision and Empowerment. And in that book, I just share my experiences as a teen mom, as well as information and resources, just to help other teen moms become more informed and be empowered to continue their education and move forward and to pursue their dreams.
So what are some of the challenges that you see when you go speak to these girls? Like, what are their reactions, and what are some of the challenges that you see?
Some of them are ashamed.
Now, when you're speaking to these, are these pregnant girls, or
they're either pregnant or they have already had children?
Okay.
Yeah, that's the majority of my crowds.
Okay.
I don't talk about the ones who aren't pregnant. I usually deal with like relationships and peer pressure. But for the teen moms, I share my experiences and actually talk to them. And I try to make sure that they stay connected to themselves, because when they become teen mothers, they're feeling essentially a void, that love that they want. And then when they raise that child, you ask them, what are the things that make you happy? And then the first answer they say is seeing my son happy, or seeing my baby happy, or seeing a smile on my child's face. And then you ask them, what are some of the qualities of the kid? They'll name them left and right. Well, he doesn't like this, and he could do that. And then when you ask them, well, what about you? What do you like? I don't know. Or what do you want to be? I don't know. So they become so disconnected from themselves that impacts them as they grow older. When that child becomes old enough to take care of themselves and wanders off, then they're stuck with themselves again. And now they don't know who they are. They don't know what they like. They don't know anything about themselves. So that's where one thing I also try to drive to them or bring to their attention is to always still be connected to you and who you are and where you're trying to be and what you want to do.
Gosh, and have you ran across any of these teen moms that have had multiple kids?
Yes, there are some with multiple kids. And I mean, in these programs, some of them are still pushing forward amazingly. So they still have hope. They're still pursuing their education. And you still have to just constantly just make sure that they're thinking on the right path, not worrying about what the guy is doing, or still focused on their goals.
Right.
So yeah, some of them are still multiple.
So what about parental relationships? Like, how was your relationship with your mom, your dad? How do you encourage that keeping that connection?
Well, my father, he wasn't in my life the majority of my youth. My mother was there. She was disabled, so I had multiple parents. I would say my grandmother was my mother, my aunt was my mother, my mother was my mother.
Sure.
So I've had multiple parents, and I guess that kind of made me kind of different because I never had a real parental bond with anyone.
Okay.
And I would say maybe that helped me to become more independent and be able to do things the way that I was able to do it and excel the way I excelled without having to depend on so many people. I learned to be independent at a young age.
Sure. So who were your greatest supporters?
My mother, my grandmother, my aunt, my uncles. So they were all there. My sisters.
Okay. I'm not hearing any friends.
Yeah.
Friends come and
Friends
go. Huh?
were there. I had friends. I had a couple of friends that would come when I was out from school. They would get my homework and bring it home for me.
Okay.
So yeah, I had those, and then I had a few friends.
Okay. All right. Are they still around now?
They're still around, but you know, as you get older, you go on separate paths. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So I'm assuming you're around my age, and we're not gonna tell what that age is. So I'm just gonna make an assumption, right? So I haven't even started having kids yet. Right. So probably a lot of your peers are now beginning to start families, now beginning to get married. Like, how do you feel now that you have a child that's grown and out the house and, you know, like, how do you see yourself in that?
I'm a vet now. They have kids. I'm like, I'm sorry, you got little babies, but
can't kick it like you
my
want
youngest
to.
one is 11, so
Okay.
I started all over again 8 years later, but.
So you have two.
Yeah,
You
so
have
I
a 20-year-old
two.
and a
20-year-old and 11-year-old. Yes.
Okay. Very nice.
Yes,
very
but
nice.
they have like.
If
2
y'all
and
know how to do the
3-year-olds
math, y'all
and-
know how old she is. And yes, we're on the
Yeah,
same
I know.
page. That's
Yes.
too funny, too funny. If you're just tuning in, it's Dr. Shanika Williams here on the Diva MD Show, and we are talking about teen pregnancy. If you want to call in, you can call us at 312-754-4333. You can ask Miss Alicia Bowens anything about teen pregnancy or her experience, or even interested, if you're interested in learning more about her book. If anyone is interested in having you come speak to a group or anything like that, how do they contact you?
They can go to my website. It's www.aliciabowens.com. That's ALICIABOWENS.com. Or they can shoot me an email at livingdreams, LIVINGDREAMS @aliciabowens.com. Or they can call me toll free 855-254-2421.
Okay, excellent. And guys, if you're interested in following me on Twitter, you can find me at DivaMD929. Same thing on Instagram, DivaMD929. You can also check out my Facebook page, DivaMD. Discover yourself. And also, if you want to download the Diva MD app, if you just have not gotten enough of the Diva MD, you can download the app now. You can get information on previous shows. You can listen live to shows. You can also book appointments for me as a physician. Just a whole bunch of good stuff on this app. You can find on my favorite healthy sites. So you can download on Google Play, Diva MD-Healthy YOU. So I am so glad Alicia has decided to join us today. She has given us some great information on her experiences as a teen mother, as well as some of the things that she's done in the community with speaking to other teen parents. Can you give us just a little bit of information on what are some of the risks for teen moms?
Some of the risks for teen moms, I really try to intentionally not pay attention to the statistics, but I know there's a statistic that there will be a subsequent pregnancy within 2 years. I don't know the exact numbers. So it's very important that after you have that first pregnancy to protect yourself.
Absolutely.
Although they're saying that the rates of teen pregnancy have gone down, I'm not sure what group of teens those are correlating to. So
they're saying that the average age for teenagers to get pregnant now are between 15 and 19, and those numbers have definitely decreased. And I'm sure it's due to us family practice physicians. I'm taking the first line of defense here for telling our teens, having these conversations with the parents, having these conversations about sex and how to protect yourself. And how to, basically how to protect yourself. That's the main thing. If you have a teen that is listening to the show, I always say, my first thing for you to do is to be abstinent. Right. That's my first recommendation. But if you just feel the need to just go ahead and do what you do, then protect yourself. Look, I'm the Diva MD. I keep it real on this show. If that's what you're going to do, then protect yourself. Make sure that when I say protect yourself, that means wear condoms. Absolutely. And don't have multiple sex partners, right? We all watch the Maury show, and we get really sad when the girl on the show and the dad is right, and the dad is you are not the father. So we get real sad about that. So I'm gonna need for you to not have multiple partners either.
And I also try to instill in these teens, don't trust the other person to have protection. I tell this to my son, I tell this to my nephew, I tell this to my nieces. Do not trust the other person to have protection. Absolutely. Even if that little girl says she got a condom, you better have your own condom. If you say she on a pill, you better still have your own condom.
Absolutely.
The girl, he say he has condoms, you better make sure you on a pill and you have your own condoms. I mean, it's too much.
And that's another important conversation.
I guess I'm the paranoid parent. Too much with poking holes and condoms, all this other stuff.
Oh,
you have your own stuff. And you just
absolutely. And she didn't have that condom in her wallet for the past 10 years waiting for him.
I know, throwing it around in class and playing with people poking pencils.
Right. Yeah, no. Have your own. Have your own.
Yes,
and that's another important thing to discuss as well, is to make sure that, if you are considering being sexually active, to consider being on birth control. There are many different types of birth control that you can be on, whether it's the pill, whether it's the vaginal ring, the patch, the shot. You have a plethora of ways to protect yourself. So do the right thing, do the smart thing.
Abstinence is the best form.
Absolutely. And protect yourself. Abstinence, number one. All right. Got it? Check. Done. Okay. Right. So, Alicia, this is the Diva MD Show, and everybody knows that DIVA stands for Discovering Innermost Valuable Assets. Yes, honey. Yay. So, with you being the fabulous diva that you are, can you give us, just your spiel on what's your innermost valuable asset? What makes you you?
What makes me me? I guess all of my experiences, being a teen mom, being able to overcome that obstacle, running my own businesses, and then just having that willingness to share my experience and see other people also take their lives to the next level. So that's what makes me me.
Absolutely, and it is a beautiful me. Thank you so much, Alicia, for joining us. I'm so glad that you came and hung out with the diva today.
Thank you for inviting me.
I appreciate you. So just give us again, if anyone is interested in booking you for speaking engagements or, coming to talk to their teens or even purchasing your book. Yes. Can you give us all of your information again?
Yes, you can purchase my book on Amazon.com and also BarnesandNoble.com. But if you want a signed copy, you have to go to my website, which is www.aliciabowens.com.
She signs the copy, y'all.
I'll sign the copies if you go to my website. Now, Amazon and Barnes & Noble, you're on your own, but I'll sign the ones on my website. So that's www.aliciabowens.com. I'll spell it ALICIABOWENS.com. If you want me to come out and speak, again, you can go to my website and go to the Contact Us form, or you can give me a call, toll free, 855-254-2421. You can also follow me on Twitter at Alicia_Bowens, and Facebook is author Alicia Bowens. And also, I have a Facebook page for Love for Teen Moms, the book.
Well, clearly, I'm going to be posting all of her social media
yes.
connects and websites so that you guys won't have to try and drive and write this down. But we'll definitely get that to you if you follow me on Facebook, DivaMD.Discover Yourself. as well as Twitter and Instagram, Diva MD 929. Man, that half an hour went by way too fast. Well, thank you again so much, and you are definitely welcome to come back and join me anytime.
All right, I will.
Absolutely. Guys, make sure that you stay tuned in to the Diva MD Show. Up next, we have Sister Southern coming up. She's been here before, guys, but she's always a treat every time she comes. So make sure you stay tuned in to the Diva MD Show only on UBM Talk.
Hello, this is Leon Finney, your host of Another Perspective on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com. We are the voice of Black America. Join me and my guests every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. as we discuss the issues that impact Black America. Tune in to UBM Talk on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com, the simulcast on our affiliate station WBON 1690 AM. That's Another Perspective every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. And you can run and tell that.
Have you ever seen grandparents who are always on the move? Well, let me introduce you to Mr. Lorenzo Young, Miss Hermeline Jones, Miss Lenora Lusk, Miss Rose Henderson, Miss Doris Riley, and yours truly, Marie Johnson. Join us every Saturday morning from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on UBM Talk. Grandparents on the move, we don't rock, we roll.
My name is Coach Thomas. I am a fitness, health, and nutrition coach and member of the Illinois Governor's Council on Health and Physical Fitness. Make sure you check out Change for the Better with Coach Thomas Sunday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. We will discuss topics and feature guests that will give you helpful tips and advice on how to create healthier habits that will lead to a healthier lifestyle. Make sure you check out Change for the Better with Coach Thomas, where we focus on healthy kids and healthy communities.
Tune in to Change for the Better with Coach Thomas Sundays 7 to 8 p.m. only on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com.
Hey everybody, check us out Monday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the new radio show Rated Life with
it's your boy Morris Spicer,
your boy Dex Pierce, Mr. Just My Thoughts,
Pat Price,
and me, your girl Lex.
Lex, what are we gonna be talking about?
Everything is life, yes.
Wait, no, I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for Rated Life.
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for Rated Life.
I ain't gonna do it.
Anyway, just make sure that you tune in to UBM Talk at UrbanBroadcastMedia.com and join our Rated Life Facebook page for more information. It's Rated Life, y'all.
It's UBM Talk on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com. Call us at 312-754-4333 and get in on the conversation.
Hey, it's Dr. Shanika Williams, and we are back with the Diva MD Show only on UBM Talk, guys. If I didn't tell you before, make sure you download the app for UBM. It's Urban Broadcast Media Talk Internet Radio. So make sure you download that app so you can listen live as well. Hey, so someone just walked in, my favorite diva. Oh, I love this woman, Dr. Kiara King. Hey, boo. She was actually supposed to be on the first half, but I'm gonna get in a couple of questions. It's okay. The traffic, Chicago, we ain't ready. Not ready. It's the weather too, and people don't know how to drive, and it is what it is. That's all right. So we were here. Thank you. I am so glad you are joining us. Yep. So can you just give us a little bit of background about what you do? I know you're an OBGYN.
Yes, I'm an OB-GYN, which means I take care of women kind of through all their stages of their life, from younger women in their teen years to women in their reproductive years that are having babies to women kind of transitioning into menopause. So it's kind of the full spectrum of women's health care.
And you know we're talking about teen pregnancy, and I know you were listening in to the show.
I sure was.
Because you love the Diva MD show, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. That just made me blush. So give us a doctor's take. I tried to put my little spin on it, but you see this a lot because you're an OB-GYN and you tend to see, children having children. So what is your take on it?
I mean, and Alicia made a lot of really good points. And from our standpoint, our goal is hopefully to prevent the pregnancy from occurring or pregnancies. We see a lot of younger women who are starting to be sexually active a lot earlier these days. And, I really just try and bring a sense of awareness to them when they're in my office. They may be coming not necessarily for a pregnancy, but maybe some other complaint. And I try and definitely make sure I address that. Are they being sexually active? What are they doing to protect themselves? Why are they being sexually active?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And a lot of young girls, you can ask them, why are they being sexually active? You're 14, you're 15, and they don't really know. And so just trying to just make them aware, and just emphasize their importance and their value and their worth, that they are worth being waited for. And, that there's so many years ahead of them to be sexually active and to do those kind of things. But, pregnancies, STDs, and other things can potentially affect their life in a way that can dramatically change the course of their life. Alicia obviously has some really good points and has done great things with her life. But I think sometimes young women, you ask them, what would you do if you got pregnant? And they kind of look at you kind of like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Like they have no idea what they would do. And you ask them, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to school? What are your goals? And, they may list some of the things that they want to do with their lives. And I always just say, okay, well, how would a pregnancy affect that? And they kind of look at you like a deer in headlights again. And so I just kind of just emphasize, think about the choices that you are making before you go and do these acts, because the consequences can oftentimes be severe. So,
absolutely. And how do they respond to you?
They actually usually respond pretty well. It's interesting because a lot of them who are kind of towards the younger end, the 15, 16-year-olds oftentimes are coming with their moms. And it's funny because a lot of times you'll see them as I'm talking to them, and I will not have talked to their parents before they came in. They're kind of looking at their mom like, this is the same thing you told me already. I'm not kidding you. And I always tell the girls, I said, your mama didn't pay me $20 to tell you this. I said, I'm telling you this because I genuinely care. And I don't want you, there's so many young girls that are, becoming sexually active for just the wrong reason, and, just trying to emphasize. And a lot of the moms will just kind of be sitting there and nodding, and the girls will just be kind of like, I heard this already, but okay, it's coming from somebody else. So maybe my mom was right. Maybe I should listen. So I think it's well received. And I hope it's received, hopefully it'll stick at some point.
Yeah. So, I think as physicians that we have to hold our patients to a certain bar and a certain standard that, you deserve better than what you're putting yourself, the situation that you're putting yourself in. And I think it's great that, we have that ability to be able to have those conversations with those patients, whether they are adolescents, whether they are adults and still doing crazy stuff.
Exactly.
We can still have those
conversations. It's not just
conversations.
teenagers.
It's not just teenagers. And that's the sad part.
Right.
So,
you think we may have gotten it together in adult years, but it's not the case.
Not so much so. So, Dr. King, thank you so
You are so
much.
welcome.
I appreciate you, and we will definitely have you back on again because we have a plethora of things to talk about as well. We got bags full of tricks that we coming with. So y'all be ready.
On the horizon.
So y'all be ready. Y'all be ready. So guys, if you're just tuning in again, this is the Diva MD Show with Dr. Shanika Williams. That be me. And we are in the Divas Cafe, and I am again welcoming Miss Nicole Lawson, Pool Lawson.
Lance gonna get mad at you.
So this is how you know that I'm not married, because I cannot get that stuff right. Okay, so Miss Nicole Poole Lawson, who is the founder and organizer of Sisters Serving Volunteer Organization, which is a fabulous non-for-profit organization that was just started this past September.
August.
Yes, dang, I was close. I was close. But I started working with her in September,
Yes,
so
you
that's
did.
where my mind is. And it's a great organization. So I definitely want Nicole to take some time out and talk to us a little bit about everything that she has done so far and things that are coming up in the near future.
Yes, we have. So since August 1st, we have done quite a bit. And when I first started the organization, I was thinking, we'll do a couple things at the end of the year and then get really going in 2015. But things kept coming up, and we've even had requests to do different things.
Nice.
So we didn't want to say no.
Right.
So the very first thing we had was the social. So we invited people out to get to know what the organization was about, nonprofit, volunteer organization that goes out and help different organizations do what they need to do regarding getting food or donating food, going to different or participating in different walks or runs and marathons toward a cure for a particular disease or illness. And that first social, we recruited like 9 more people. We started out with 18. We recruited 9 more. We're at 30 members at this point. So that was a great experience to see all the women come out and support and want to become part of the organization based on coming on the Diva MD Show, Facebook, and then, just my inner circle, knowing that I love to volunteer and just taking this on to the next level. So after the social, we did the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and we raised $1,720. And it was amazing because people really participated. People I haven't heard from in a long time when we put it out there. And actually, when I shared my story about my dad, people reached out and were extremely supportive around that fact. And we had 10 ladies walk in the 5K, and that was phenomenal to have that support. And they either had a connection themselves with the disease, or they were just coming out to support myself and others that had a direct connection. So that was wonderful. And then on October 4th, we went to the Greater Chicago Food Bank.
Right.
So I reached out to them earlier and received a letter that said, "Hey, Nicole, Sister Serving, can you guys do a food drive?" I said, well, yeah, sure, right. We don't want to say no to something like that because they collect food as well as, organizing everything and donating to different schools, shelters, and soup kitchens. So I reached out to the organization. They responded. Supporters responded. We collected about 250 food items, which translated into 300 pounds of food.
Nice.
And the day we actually volunteered, and you were there.
I was there. So much fun.
Yes. We had on our little knit caps and our aprons and our gloves. And we were packing apples, right?
Yes. After that day, I was like, I don't want to see another apple.
I did not want any other apples. And that's my favorite snack. Apples and peanut butter. I just didn't want to see any more apples. So we were inspecting apples, making sure they weren't mushy and gushy, and putting them in boxes. So
I was the label.
Yeah, you were the labeler.
I labeled the boxes.
Yeah, you were the organizer with the boxes. That's cool. I was actually touching the apples, 8 to a bag, 4 to a box.
Right.
So we, along with other community organizations and individuals, packed over 400 boxes, you remember, and over 10,000 pounds of food. So to contribute to something like that was just phenomenal. When we got the final numbers, we were just, on cloud 9.
And because I was the labeler, I actually calculated the number of apples.
Oh, you did?
That we packed for our team. So it was like 2 different teams. It was 2 sides, right? And our side had packed 19,740. Don't ask me why I remember that number, and I can't remember anything else. But we packed 19,740 apples.
So if you multiply that by
2, but you guys were faster.
Well, yeah.
They were so much faster. They were so far ahead of us. It didn't make sense.
We had a process going that was ridiculous. We went through like maybe 5 or 6 crates.
And being as competitive as I am, I was mad, low key.
So you should have been on that side.
I should have been on that side.
Well, it even turned into a competition with the 3 tables.
Did you?
Yes. How many can you get in? But we still wanted to make sure that the apples were right for. People looked at it and said, hey, I want to eat this, So that was a great, great experience. So So just in those events or with those events, it was just very rewarding to know that we are contributing in a bigger way than just one individual, which is great, but as an organization coming together. And people have turned up and turned out and, you know, just showed out in the way of volunteering and serving. And I'm just very, very, very pleased with that. So grateful for it.
You know, this is such a great idea for an organization. And I've said this before, and I absolutely love the concept that not only are you a service organization, but you're a service organization that assists other serving organizations. Yes. So it's not just let me get funding for me so I can just, so I can, push my agenda. No, how can we assist your organization? How can we assist, fundraise for you, or, pack food for the food pantries, or, whatever the case may be. And I think that was such just a phenomenal idea, and it's a blessing to so many people. Just so you know that. So what's in store? Because it's the holiday season, so it's the time for God says.
It's around ground running, yes.
Yes, love a cheerful giver.
Serve, yes. So speaking of helping another organization do what they need to do, our next event is let me step back a second. We are doing another food drive for a place called the Vision of Restoration. It's in Maywood. It's affiliated with Rock of Ages Baptist Church. Okay. And we are doing a food drive to create Thanksgiving baskets for the surrounding community. So, those traditional foods that we eat during Thanksgiving.
What's the traditional food?
Well, mashed potatoes, corn, green beans, put some cornbread in there, Jiffy Mix, and the brownie mix, cake mix, those things, Jell-O with fruit. So we're taking donations, from anyone who wants to donate. You can get in contact with me at sistersserving1226@gmail.com. And that's sisters with an S and then serving1226@gmail.com. And we're collecting those items to help contribute to the Thanksgiving baskets. Now, we just did a food drive, and we want to do this food drive, but we also have taken this to the next level. And a very good friend of mine, former coworker, came to me and said, you know what, my uncle has a wine bar that he's willing to open up to your organization to do a fundraiser for Vision of Restoration, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal. Not only are they opening up their wine bar, it's Aqua Viva Wine Bar in St. Charles, they are also donating the raffle gifts, the raffle prizes we will be using. So we're inviting people out to come, and we're partnering with my colleague, Kiara Toludo. She's an author. She's a local author, as well as a colleague of hers who's an author. And they're going to be selling their books there as well. And a portion of their book sales will go towards our initiative to raise money for Vision of Restoration to buy or create even more Thanksgiving baskets to help the community.
Nice.
So we have a number of different ways, the raffle to raise funds, as well as their book sales to raise funds. And our goal for the night is to raise $1,000 to donate. So we're really, really hoping people come out, they buy the raffle tickets, they buy books, they can even do some wine tasting, order dinner, that too. And again, it's on November 15th from 6 to 9 at Aqua Viva Wine Bar. You can find it in St. Charles. Just Google it, and you will see there on their site, as well as their Facebook page, as well as Sister Serving Volunteer Organization Facebook page, the address and everything you need to know about the event. So we're very, very excited about that. We want to invite everyone out and support so we could meet our goal and assist Vision of Restoration with creating even more Thanksgiving baskets for this month.
I love that. I love that. And now I know you have a very special reason why your email is the way it is. It's sisterserving1226.
Yes, I do. And I need to commit this to memory. But yes, it's 1226. And that is a Bible verse, John 12:26. Whomever serves me must follow me. And where I am, my servants also will be. My Father will honor the one who serves me. John 12:26.
I love that.
So that's why it's part of the email. That's our foundation, basically. You know, people ask me, is this a religious organization? And I say, no, it's not necessarily a religious organization, but that is our foundation. And just recently, I posted that quote in the beginning of Equalizer, the movie. You know, there are two important days of your life: one, the day you're born, and the day you find out why. Oh my, that just captured exactly why Sister Serving exists. Because I've known for a while why I'm here. I just had to get off my tush. And make it happen.
You can say tush on a Diva MD
Okay,
show.
good. I can't say the other word. Well, I had to get off of it and make it happen. And, you know, in my bio and the promo for Sister Serving, I say, you know, it didn't happen in my time. It happened in God's time.
Absolutely.
He said, you know, your mom said, tells you to do something, and she said, right now, do it right now. And that's what I heard very clearly. And I'm just like, okay.
Nice.
And I got up and I did it. And I mean, it's an organization. It's not just me. We have the 30 members. We have people that come out and participate and who are committed to doing this. And you're one of those people, and I thank you for that. And I appreciate everyone who contributes, and we're still looking for members. If you want to be a part of this, you are not required to go to every single event or participate in every single event, but your support and commitment to the organization as a whole is what we need so we can get things done and make sure whoever we assist and whoever we partner with will get the service that they need.
Absolutely. So, guys, again, if you are interested in becoming a member of Sisters Serving Volunteer Organization, you can shoot Nicole an email at sisterservings1226@gmail.com. And it is not just open to women, correct?
No, it's not just open to women. We had a couple guys say, hey, I'll support and I'll do what you need me to do. So we have them on our list, and we will put you on the list if you are a guy who wants to support. You know, it's just a matter of what we do and when we do it. We will need your intelligence, your wit, your strength, you to help us out in different
Bodyguard
things.
us in situations.
Yeah,
bottom
sometimes,
line.
you know. Sometimes, you know, that's what we want to do. Or what we have to do. Because, yes, we'll have each other's back, but it's nice to have that presence, you know, with me, especially the things that we want to do in 2015. Right now, we're gathering a wish list of the things we want to do. And one of them I spoke about before, like going to the streets and having like blessing bags for the homeless. And, you know, in Chicago, I work in Chicago. I walk, you know, every day from the train station to my building, and I see homeless people and, you know, what they're in need of, food or money, and some of them just say, I'm just hungry, you know. So it's something that I would really love to do, and I know members of the organization would love to do that too. And that's a time where we would need the presence of men to walk with us and make sure safety is secured.
Absolutely.
And we can make good things happen and still stay safe.
So where do you see this organization going over the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I see more members. I see doing things on an even larger scale because we are not the 501c3 collecting funds, doing stuff. And that's a goal. That is the goal, to become 501c3 certified and be able to raise funds ourselves. But we know we don't have to do that in order to serve.
Absolutely.
And partnering with different organizations, I think we can just serve on a larger scale. I would love to partner with the American Heart Association.
I have that connection. No
you
worries.
have that.
We're gonna make that happen.
See? I would love to partner with Susan Coleman. Susan Coleman. Yes, that's it. For breast cancer and do a walk there. I'd like to partner with other food pantries, not just the Greater Chicago Food Bank, which we do have a commitment to work with them at least once a quarter.
Okay.
So partnering with a lot of different folks around getting things done, and once we do get that 501c3 charitable organization status, we'd love to raise funds and start scholarships. And reach out to the community and say, hey, we have these young teen moms or young adults that just need their books paid for college or, some assistance. So I think we have big dreams. I think they are possible.
Absolutely.
Because of our foundation. And it's just something that would be just awesome to do. So I do see us growing and partnering with a lot more folks to get stuff done.
There is nothing too big or nothing too small, nothing too big for our big God, period. Right? Whatever you dream.
Are possible.
Absolutely. Whatever you dream, you can definitely make it happen through Christ. Absolutely. Oh, I love that. I love that. Guys, if you're tuning in, you're listening to the Diva MD Show with Dr. Shanika Williams. I have Nicole Poole Lawson here with me for Sisters Serving Volunteer Organization. If you're interested in becoming a member, because we do a lot of work around the city of Chicago and surrounding suburbs, and if you are in any of those areas and would like to join us in our efforts, we have some great things planned coming up this November for Thanksgiving and for Christmas holidays. Now is the time for you to start giving back and, giving to someone who can definitely use the assistance. You can send her an email at sisters with an S, serving, Sisters Serving 1226 at gmail.com. And, I have asked you this before, as I ask all of my divas that come onto the show. And Dr. King, you can also share with me as well. Diva MD stands for Discovering Innermost Valuable Assets. The whole purpose of having that acronym is to let women know. I want to take away that negative stigma that is associated with the word diva. You're thinking, high maintenance, I got to make sure that I have my hair, my nails, everything right, and that's what makes me a diva. No, it's actually what's inside of you that makes you a diva. So, I also, if you follow me on Instagram, DivaMD99, you can also pick up see a lot of affirmations that are hashtag Team Real Diva. So you can scroll through those, hashtag Team Real Diva, and see, the many affirmations that I have for you revolving around this Discovering Innermost Valuable Assets. And you can pick up a Team Real Diva t-shirt if you like with any donation of $30 or more. So this Diva MD show is publicly funded. So if you're interested in sending a donation and you would like a t-shirt, please feel free to go to GoFundMe.com/DivaMD Radio Show. I love you guys. So Nicole, what is your innermost valuable asset?
I think, my innermost valuable asset is probably the same answer I gave before, is my love for God and his love for me.
Yes.
I mean, that is the amazing part of it all. For him to say, I want you to do this, gives me so much joy, and to know that he put me here to do this, and I'm doing it, and I'm fulfilling what he would have me do,
the best part,
as opposed to what I think I want to do. Right. He is in control. So that is just everything to me, and that's why I do what I do with Sisters Serving.
Absolutely amazing. You have an amazing heart, and we really appreciate everything that you're doing for our community. Dr. King, what you got for us, girl?
I have to piggyback on that answer, actually.
You go ahead. It's okay.
Look, I'm over here like, amen. I'm like, we about to have a little church session up in here.
Do a little dance.
But no, I completely and 100% agree. For me, my foundation is Christ and the Word of God. And without that, I am nothing. And greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So that is where my innermost values and assets come from. I know I can do all things through him. He can do the impossible. When I can't do it, he can. So, I think ultimately when you have that kind of foundation, you can pretty much do anything you set your mind to, and, if it's aligned with his will. So we just need to have a little song or something. Right? A hymn or somebody play the organ real quick.
These are shouting words right here. Guys, you all have tuned into the Diva MD Show with Dr. Shanika Williams. It has been an amazing day as usual. Every time I come on this show, I learn something new. I get something from it, and I hope that you are empowered and get the same. You know, this is a show for you to get educated about the diseases that affect our community, and to be encouraged and empowered to do greater things than you can even imagine. So again, thank you so much for listening to the Diva MD Show on Urban Broadcast Media. Download the Urban Broadcast Talk Internet Radio app. Make sure you download that so that you can listen to live shows, and make sure you download the Diva MD Healthy You app so you can get everything Diva MD. I love you guys. I will see you guys next week, same time, same place. Holla back.
I'm a diva.